Welcome back, everybody. It's your pal Orange Eye here to bring you some Rachel Zegler Hunger Games news. Now, the film Hunger Games, BSS, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, has come out in theaters for a Thursday night preview, which is usually the norm for big movies. And also, Rachel Zegler and the cast of this movie, some of the cast members, Peter Dinklage and a couple others, were allowed to leave their strike, the SAG-AFTRA strike, in order to promote this film. They had permission. And, with promotional material going out, and with them doing their promotional tours, this movie did worse than a movie that didn't allow their own crew to promote the film during the strike. So let's get into this article by bounding into comics. Rachel Zegler's Hunger Game performs worse than Brie Larson's The Marvels at the Thursday night previews. So, yeah, that just covers the title again. Variety reports that Zegler's Hunger Games BSS only grossed $5.75 million in previews on Thursday night. That's nearly $1 million less than what Brie Larson's The Marvels did. That film grossed $6.6 million at Thursday night's previews just a week ago. Now, that is a normal thing where they do previews. I saw the preview to Endgame on a Thursday night. So, I could then get my, at that time, my review out. And, this movie, as I said, was allowed to promote its film ahead of its release. Marvel's wasn't, I don't believe. But, yeah. Interestingly, Hunger Games BSS was projected to have a better opening weekend than the Marvels. Box Office Pro adjusted the projections upward this week, claiming the film would gross between $42 million and $55 million, and specifically predicting it would make $47.1 million at the domestic box office, meaning here in the U.S. In contrast, the outlet had adjusted their projections for the Marvels down to between $35 to $49 million, right before the film arrived in theaters. The film would eventually bring in $46.1 million in its opening weekend. So, yeah. That kind of hurts both of these big female empowerment movies. Nobody's wanting to watch that crap anymore. Now, I do like a female empowering movie. I love the Underworld franchise. I love the Aliens franchise. I love another movie that a lot of people don't seem to like it, or don't seem to give too much love to nowadays. It's called A League of Their Own. The 90s one, not that thing that they did on Amazon. That was a truly empowering movie for the women because it was also based on history. But then you also got Terminator, which is also female-led, or female-led franchise. But yes, given these Thursday night preview numbers, it was likely that the Marvels might actually outperform Zegler's Hunger Games instead of the other way around. Both films have an identical tomato meter score at 62%. Kind of odd if you ask me. But they also have similar Metascore critics. The Marvels has a 50, while, as of the recording of this video, and the writing of the article, while Hunger Games BSS has a 52. The one thing that Hunger Games BSS has going for it is a significantly lower production budget compared to Marvel's. That lower budget means its break-even point is a lot lower as well. The BSS reportedly has a $100 million production budget, meaning it only has to gross around $250 million to break even in order to cover the split that theaters take from the grosses as well as their marketing budget. And for a lot of you that don't know, the studios get a hefty take of the ticket price opening week and opening weekend. where the say you're paying $10 a ticket at the theater. Opening weekend, the theater gets maybe $1 to $2 out of each ticket. That's why concessions are so high. I learned that from my friend OMB Reviews. Shout out to you, Odin. As well as I learned that from a friend of mine who works at a theater in my town. Shout out to him as well. But yeah, it's not really a split take. It's at the beginning of it all, it's we get the majority, you only get the scraps. So Marvel had a production upwards of $274 million, and that is the latest reported figure as of September of 2022. The film had reshoots after that, increasing the number. It also went through post-production, which would also have increased that figure. It's likely that the film needs to make at least $800 million to break even. It will not do that. No, there's probably going to be a huge drop-off with the Marvels folks. That movie's going to lose hundreds of millions of dollars. And that's all because of Marvel's fault. And the people involved with the movie, as well as the people involved with the production. Box office analyst OMB Reviews, shout out to Odin, discussed the Hunger Games box office, noting that he believes the production budget for the film is actually a lot higher. I would not be surprised if it actually cost a lot more than seeing Hollywood is notorious for just lying about their budgets and overspending on things. Considering the reported budget for Godzilla Minus One is $150 million, and we are seeing, I discussed this with Mara last night on Shin Godzilla stream, and we're seeing digital effects that look very real. You gotta wonder where all this money is going. But let's keep going. Nevertheless, he also stated that the movie has a steep hill to climb, even if the $100 million price tag is accurate. He went on to predict that he believes the film would gross between 40 to 50 million domestically, with an overall international number probably being somewhere around 85 to 100 million. And he actually does a very conservative, or OMB Reviews, Odin, he does a very conservative estimate, but he also knows a lot more about this stuff. So he has been on point sometimes, and I gotta give him credit for that. What do you make of Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes Thursday night preview grosses? Honestly, she did it to herself, man. Rachel Zegler, there's multiple factors, of course, folks. There's multiple factors, of course. The Hunger Games, their fans have grown up and moved on since. But then you also got us who are in the know, who know about what Rachel Zegler has said. You even have people in the mainstream media, like Entertainment Tonight and them, talking about what Rachel Zegler has said about the Snow White film. And that has turned a lot of people off of Rachel Zegler. And then you also have people or things going on in our economy right now. And it kind of sucks out there when it's costing $4 a gallon at the pump for some people where I live, and up to like $6 or $7 at the pump over in California. And you expect people to want to go out and watch a movie when they could barely afford to put food on the table? You got to ask yourselves, are people really going to prioritize a movie over that? Over feeding their kids? I sure as hell am not. I would prefer to feed my kids and make sure that they are healthy than bring them to the movie theater. Especially one that is putting a movie on where I do not agree in any shape, way, or form with what the production has done and with what the stars are saying. Rachel Zegler has made herself extremely unlikable. She has said things that she likes to play the victim afterward for getting the backlash. Now, there are also the things that she has said before any of us even caught wind of it. Because remember, there was that old video that is not new. And so the context of it was faked. But yeah, her overall image is most likely going to lead to this movie making her a third strike box office bomber. Not Into the Heights, but West Side Story movie that they did with her in it. It failed at the box office. The Shazam 2, Fury of the Gods, or whatever it was, I almost called it Fury Road, had her in it. And that didn't do very well in the box office. This movie is her third movie going in. And with Disney now pushing Snow White a year past 2024 into 2025, they are most likely going to have that a fifth bomb. They're doing extensive reshoots on that movie. Or fourth bomb for her. Sorry, fourth, not fifth. Rachel Zegler has made herself extremely unlikable. But that is not the only thing that goes into a person not liking a film. You have the original fan base growing older, moving on from it. You also have factors like the economy. I went over all this already. And those things are important to take into context of whether or not a person is going to buy a ticket. And, of course, you are going to have the early access perks for the people at Rotten Tomatoes who are essentially paid to give their thoughts on it, but they are also said, if you give this movie a bad review, we will give you less perks. Oh, yeah, I was there during the outing of the critics at Rotten Tomatoes, folks. Whatever the critic scores are, that it's most likely false. Because they're said, we got to give a positive score even if we don't like the movie. And that has happened so much. And then you also have the site itself saying, okay, we are going to stop people from doing certain things on the site. Like me, myself, I can't even give reviews anymore. I gave a few good reviews for stuff I did like. And then I suddenly find that only 2 of my reviews are out of the 5 that I gave. And now I can't even give a review. So that's kind of odd too. But as for the Thursday night preview, where it only made, what was it? $5.75 million? Yeah, that's not very good for a franchise that did pretty good for itself. I mean, I like the other Hunger Games movies. I really do. I thought they were very good. But now that I'm older, I haven't watched them in a while. But I am not going to watch Rachel Zegler's. It doesn't hold any interest to me. Not to mention, she herself has made her attitude very snobbish. And that is, for me, a turnoff. It's a very repulsive thing. Anyway, just giving my thoughts on this video. Want to let y'all know what's going on with Hunger Games. Now, the movie hasn't had its full box office breakdown. That comes on Sunday, where they, after all the numbers have come in. But a Thursday night preview of only $5.75 million? That ain't good. Anyway, folks, that's the video. You all know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that jazz. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. What do you think? You think this is good, or you think this is boding bad for Hunger Games? Let me know all your thoughts, folks. This has been Orange Chat. Y'all have a wonderful day. Stay humble.